Hey guys, Perla here. I actually stopped at the gas station for a little bit. So this morning we had a 2 hour delay. So that means that the kids got into school a little later. Unfortunately, I had to clean up the driveway and stuff before I could get them to school. So one thing led to another, and I had to drop them off at school. So school for them, it's about a 15-minute drive or so. So as of right now, my doctor has me on a 15-minute driving restriction. So I got to the school, dropped them off. I am extremely, I just feel exhausted right now. My brain just feels like a little scrambled egg or something. So I drove about 2 or 3 minutes away from the school, and I'm sitting in the parking lot just kind of like gathering my thoughts before I can drive back home and take a nap. I've been up since about 4:30ish or so this morning. I tried going back to sleep a couple of times and it just was not working. It's 11, close to 11:30 now, so I'm gonna be going to sleep soon, and hopefully I can get enough rest. But this is one of the other things a lot of people don't know or don't we really don't share. So when I used to work, um, it's gonna be a year now that I've been out of work, unfortunately. But when I was working, I would get out of work and heat up the car, stuff, or cool or whatever, depending on the temperature. But I would sit in my car for what I thought would be like 2 or 3 minutes, and next thing I know, my phone would be going off because it's been like an hour, 30 minutes since I got out of work. And if my sister had the kids or whoever was watching the kids until I got home would call me like, "You almost here?" And I'm like, "I just got out of work," and they're like, "You've been out of work for like an hour," and I'm like. I look at the time, I'm like, oh, sure, I've been literally sitting here for like, an hour and a half without knowing it. And it became like a regular thing. So it was just something that I was kind of used to. So before leaving work, I was working at two different locations. One of them was Danbury, Connecticut, which was it's like a 40-minute drive, and Norwalk, which is like another 40-minute drive, but like in the other direction. Unfortunately, both places you had traffic going to and from work. So if I had to be at work by, let's say, 8 o'clock, I would normally leave my house maybe like 2.5 hours or so earlier than when I was due at work. This would give me enough time to stop and take my breaks. And if I had to nap, I had to nap. A lot of times, getting out of work, depending on how bad traffic was, I would just pull over like midway through, or like whatever, and take naps before getting home to do all my mommy duties, homework and dinner and showers and this and that. But it's just I just wish people would not just go ahead and judge or just assume that what they read in a book is how we are supposed to be or how we're supposed to react to things. Um, I don't know how to say it. Like, there's just a lot more to narcolepsy than most people know. Even people that have been diagnosed with narcolepsy. But I think it's just more of a, how can I put it this way? It's more, because there's not so much. There's a lot. I need to get a little more comfortable. There's a lot of information out there, but there's also a ton of like unknown. Yeah, look, everything is getting red because I was sweating when I was shoveling. So there's a lot of unknown as far as narcolepsy and how and why it affects certain areas or whatever. So I just feel like a lot of people just have this misconception that narcolepsy is just you randomly falling asleep. And honest to God, I wish that was like the only thing that came with it, because then yeah, an Adderall, a Ritalin, whatever, Novigil, whatever stimulant you want to take is gonna help you because it's gonna keep you up. That's what it does. But when it starts to affect your speech, when it starts to affect your thinking, your rationale, your emotions, and everything else, it's I don't identify as I am narcolepsy. I'm not narcolepsy. I'm not gonna be, oh yeah, I'm narcolepsy. No, I'm Perla. Perla. Perla, Perla, Perla. Perla. That's who I am. That is me. But narcolepsy does affect a huge, if not every single part of my life, and it is something that I can no longer suppress. It is something that I can no longer ignore, because ignoring it and suppressing it and making my, like, telling myself that I am above this, or I got this, or it's not going to do this, it's not going to do this to me, that's what got me basically to the position where I'm at, because I wasn't dealing with the issue. I was just putting a mask over it and kind of pretending like everything was okay. I was just going on with my life, not saying anything, and at the end of the day, the only person that gets hurt is me, because then I'm the one that feels like nobody understands me. I'm the one that feels judged. I'm the one that feels misunderstood. So now, when I talk to people and I explain to them, I did my part. I'm only responsible for what I say and what comes out of my mouth. I'm not responsible for what people receive or what people understand or how they interpret the information that I'm giving them. But I am very honest. If, especially when I meet new people and, like, we're making plans to do this, to do that, I will tell them, like, honestly, like, you know what, I can't commit to that. Well, why now? It's so far, exactly, it's so far long out. I don't know what's gonna happen. I am very good at organizing and making schedules and things like that. I've always been like that. So it is a little easier, like when I have to, the kids have events or anything like that, I prepare myself for those events. But I've gotten to the point where I am no longer stretching myself thin or using up energy that I need to take care of my kids and take care of myself to do things for other people or to please other people. It is what it is. And unfortunately, when you start taking care of yourself and when you start putting yourself first, people don't like that. And then it's, the little comments, the little, the immatureness of people, I should say, comes out. And it's very sad, because there are a lot of people suffering from different invisible disability. And what people don't understand is, especially when you've had something your entire life and you've never, you didn't find out till you were like 29, almost 30 years old, the things that you do, the things that you, the way you process things, the way you act, the way you react, the way everything is because in one way or another your brain was trying to compensate for the lack of, like, rest. Because it's not so much a lack of sleep, because I can sleep 16, 17, 20 hours straight and wake up as if I haven't slept. Is the lack of rest. Our body is literally not resting. So when people just tell me, oh, just go take a nap, I'm looking at them like, yeah, just gonna fix everything. No, it's not gonna fix everything. I mean, if it did, I'll still be at work. I mean, my job, and I mean, I give everybody credit. Shout out to Advanced Specialty Care, Danbury, Connecticut. Best allergy and asthma. We also have good, I don't work there anymore. They also have excellent derm and plastic, ENT. They're basically like a whole everything. Anyways, they really helped me. My supervisors, everybody was like, everybody, when I found out what was going on, everybody kind of like gathered, upper management or whatever, like, what are we going to do? Like, what do you need from us? Like, what are we going to do to make it work? What are we going to do so that you can stay at work? And it was a period of, like, working half days here, working half days there, working every other day, working, so for like about probably like 6 months or so, my schedule just kept changing. Like, it was every couple of months my schedule was changing, and throughout like this entire process, I'm here changing medication. So I'm having the ups and downs of different meds. So I'm not only like, calling out because I physically can't get out of bed, but I'm also calling out because I'm having severe reactions. Sometimes I would show up to work regardless of my reactions and be sent home, and it was just like a constant, like, never ending cycle. And towards the end, I had a decision to make. And so today, Um, so there was a lot of like behind the scene things, talking back and forth and figuring things out, like, because I really didn't want to leave. I have a passion for nursing. I had a passion for my patients. I had a passion for what I did. I felt like, I was contributing to society. I was doing something that mattered. I was helping people. So when I had to let go of that, it was very hard. But I guess you could say I was one of the fortunate ones, because people have just been like straight up fired because of tardiness and this and that. And I wasn't like a big huge like tardy person or whatever, but when you have a group of people that are not family and are people that you've met not that long ago, a few years ago, and they're willing to work with you to try and figure out what can we do to keep you here, that kind of gives you hope that for me anyways, that I'm going to be able to go back to work someday, because it is something that I want to be able to do. And I cannot remember the reason why I started this video. Oh, it was about the whole car thing. But nah, that's just it for today. And I apologize for the tearing and the stuff. When I get passionate about things, and I start talking, I tend to tear up a lot, and I tend to just sob, which is annoying, to be completely honest with you. Like, I hate that it happens, because then people think that I'm like crying or sobbing for attention, and I'm like, no, because it also happens when I get extremely upset. I start to tear up, and it's just, I guess, the way my body processes emotions or whatever. But anyways, I look a hot mess. Nothing new. I guess that's about it for the update for today. I do want to get a couple of videos up in regards to other things that I wanted to talk about, but to be honest with you, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to do that today, because all I want to really do is just go home and take a huge nap. And I mean, I can get home and take like a 15-minute nap and feel like, oh my god, or I can take a 3-hour nap and just be like, I don't want to get out of bed. So basically, I guess just telling people, don't judge. Just don't judge. I mean, you're not God, so who are you to judge anybody? I mean, I've sat in parking lots. Like, I remember one day I had to drive my oldest. The first time I had to drive him, that I had to literally stop and like sit in the parking lot of the school. The security guard came out and knocked on my door, and they were like, what are you doing? I'm like, I told them, I was like, I apologize, but I need to take a break. I need to sit down for at least, because his school is like about 30 minutes away, 35 minutes away or so. So I had to take a break before I could drive back home. And I explained it to him, and he was cool. So now whenever I do have to drop him off and I park, they know that's why I'm there. So I no longer get like the knocked or stuff like that. I've had people like approach me, and I know that people are like, just like, oh, look at that. But you know what it is? It is what it is. I want to keep my driver's license as long as I can. I want to be able to drive for as long as I can. So I'm going to do whatever it is that I need to do to make sure that happens. And taking breaks at gas stations helps. And I look so horrible. I hate this angle. I hate this sweater. But guess what? I love me, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Why is my nose? I feel like my nose looks like mad red and mad big. I don't know. Anyways, I'm probably swollen. It is what it is. That's probably why I'm not wearing a shirt, because it was like uncomfortable to put one on. No, but that's it. I really do hope that you guys are enjoying my videos, and I hope that at least somebody's getting something, or somebody that doesn't have narcolepsy is trying to at least understand a little bit more about what it is that we go through. I mean, if I show you my schedule, I need to do a couple of screenshots of like my alarms and stuff. I have alarms for everything, even like to remind me to eat, because sometimes I literally forget to eat. not on purpose. I assume that I ate, especially like if I dreamt something of like eating or whatever, and then come to realize I have not eaten. But I really do hope, even if it's just one person that I'm helping out there, to either understand or to know that they're not alone. Then I guess I guess I'm helping somebody, right? It's life. And life is going to bring you challenges. Some challenges are going to come and go fairly quickly, others are just going to be with you the rest of your life. And you just have to learn how to live with it and not let it define you. And that's what I'm trying to do. Um, I know there's probably like, like, oh well, why do you have a YouTube channel about it? Well, I have two kids with narcolepsy, with cataplexy, and I need them not to be ashamed of who they are because of it, and I need them to be able to speak up for themselves, because there's a lot of people that are going to judge. There's a lot of people that are going to want to make them feel different because of it, and they're not. So bringing awareness to something, and like to the scope of it, without like the textbook or the studies or this, but what I'm going through and what I see my kids going through, I feel that it would help other people see the bigger picture of what narcolepsy is. My opinion, you don't have to like it, you don't have to believe in it, you don't have to agree with it. It's my opinion, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Well, everybody, thank you for watching. I am so sleepy. I'm gonna blast this music so I can go home and take a quick nap.